going to start. Thanks for starting the recording as well. So yeah, just 1 more minute and we're going to start. Before we get fully started, I want to say that we always appreciate all the questions. So if you are willing to, you can always ask us a question in the chat or in the special Q&A section. If you ask it in the Q&A section, there is a high chance that I'll be able to see it, of course, because in the chat, some messages sometimes get missed. And I also want to say in advance that maybe some of you, I don't know from which kind of site you saw them, maybe the ad, or you are already our customer. You might have seen the net, the CEO of OSINT Industries was supposed to join as well, but he told me yesterday that he would be unable to. So I'll try to also tell you about OSINT Industries for him, and just keep it equal, not just focused on social links, because it is an integration. And yeah, I think we can start. We have already a lot of participants, so I think most of the people who wanted to join have done that. So first, I want to tell you who I am. I am Sonia. I'm a product manager at Social Links. I'll tell you a bit about Social Links first and just what we do, who we are. And then I wanted this session to be really practical and the one that ensures that you get some insights from it, how you can implement it into your cases and investigations. So for that reason, I will mostly focus on the actual case, and we'll see it as the biggest part of the webinar. So first, about Social Links. We are an OSINT, open source intelligence company, founded 9 years ago. What we do is that we ensure that your cases get solved and get solved fast. Here are the areas that we worked in mostly, but let me first explain what is it that we do for those areas, and how can we be actually used there, and why OSINT Industries comes in place. So we are an all-in-one investigation platform, right? So we take your investigation from the beginning. You can input, I don't know, phone number, an email address, a name that you have, and fully investigate it, looking into a lot of open sources, as well as things like leaks. That's always something that you shouldn't forget, of course. And then at the end, it generates a report that you can use to further use it. Basically, we're really good at finding connections between people or organizations, digital footprinting, so of one person or again one group, and that of course can be used in all of the areas that you can see, starting from criminal investigations to finding out whether a person who filed an insurance claim to an insurance company is lying. So our today's agenda is to first understand who are also OSINT Industries, where to use them, where to use Social Links, and why the combination of OSINT Industries and Social Links is something that we actually recommend you to try. And plus, you'll see some tricks that I don't think we have shown earlier in any webinar. So I'm sure this would be really helpful. So OSINT Industries are a one-step platform. There you can put in a number or an email address, our partners, and they will come back with all the profiles that this person has. And sometimes that is something that is enough. You just need a quick solution to understand what the person's name is. Maybe you'll get their picture. That will also help. And they have a lot of sources. Kudos to them, actually. And with all those sources, you are able to see a broad picture. where does social links come into that? So basically, what we do is we are more focused on deep investigation. So you can of course do a broad and kind of like high level investigation, but what we are really good at is identifying connections between people. So looking for a like that was left on a profile a few years ago. That is something that you can easily do with our platform. And all that we do, of course, in our modern world, sometimes with machine learning. And we use it in, for example, facial recognition or analyzing text. That's something, where you have hundreds of posts and you want to understand whether, let's say, you want to see only the posts that are of a particular category, let's say religion or politics. And so instead of reading through all of those posts, you can just type, I want ChatGPT to summarize it for me and tell me what are the topics of these, let's say, Facebook posts. And that is exactly what you can do all within our platform. So what I'm suggesting, actually, like I said in the beginning, that I wanted to make very practical. So you can do it, you can see for yourself how it works. Let me change the screen that I'm sharing and start the actual demo of what it would look like. Wait 1 second here. Okay. I hope you can all see my screen. So this is the platform that we have. Basically, what we wanted to start with is a phone number of a person that we really knew nothing about at first. And the point here is what we want to do is we want to find out everything there is to find about this person, like where she lives, what are her hobbies as well. And also we want to find out if there is a connection to a person named Jason Ross. So we already made the first step here. And what we did is we launched OSINT Industries method within Social Links Crime Wall, our platform. And we did it by running the method called OSINT Industries get profiles by phone. In this particular case, there wasn't much to find, but still some relevant information that we will use later. So first of all, something to do with horses. We'll see that. Also, we found out that this person has an Instagram profile and a Facebook profile. So this, if you look into it closely, says that the profile exists on Facebook and on Instagram. And so here's the email, the must one, but we'll use it, that is connected to this phone number. So this was done with the OSINT Industries integrated into Social Links Crime Wall. The next step for us will be to look into leaks. Here we go. We are going to run a method that looks into leaks. So that is something that I always recommend, and I want to tell you about it here as well. The point is that a lot of people get their information leaked, whether it's a food delivery service and an airline company that was hacked, and that is all posted on the darknet, and then it can be used in order to get some information about a regular person. So in this case, we got 4 leaks. And from here, we want to extract an email address. Let's do that. So I'm creating an object from the leaked information. And here's an email address of our person. Now we know, I think, that her name is Liberty Rimmer. And we'll see what 98 means. But in my personal experience, that is, of course, her date of birth. So what are we going to do again is run OSINT Industries, this time from an email. It might take us around, I want to say, a minute. So this is also a point that before this integration, I know also from a lot of our existing customers as a product manager, I talk with them a lot, that you used to go to OSINT Industries, get that information there because of how many sources they have as well, and then input that information into social links. Now it's done automatically. While, like I said, it might take around a minute. I want to show you another thing, and that is one of the tips that I was speaking about before, and I really want you to pay attention to it because a lot of people forget that this trick exists, but it is really actually really helpful. So we know that the person's name is Liberty Reamer, but what we saw here is that basically, it's her other email starts with an R and ends with an Y. So we can guess, knowing her name, that actually it is very likely just the Rimmel Liberty email. So we go to Elements and create a new email here, which will be, I hope I don't misspell it, liberty@gmail.com. So this is something that I know from also experience from talking with customers that people sometimes forget. However, it is a really good kind of, a good way to think about your investigation. There are a lot of ways to find this pieces of information. And this is one of them. We got it from OSINT Industries. So now we can try it with her email here, and maybe also run OSINT Industries from this email as well. 1 second. Yeah. So while I was talking, of course, we got some other info here. So first of all, we confirmed that her name is actually Liberty, because as you can see, somewhere she says that she's Libby. Somewhere she's here's her full name, Liberty Reamer. And not only that, I want to also mention that you can see a picture on a horse. So we can maybe guess, although for now it's not a definite yes, that here's why, it says here horse, how it is connected with her. So what we're going to do now is we're going to search for a name. 1 second. So we are going to create an object with her name, person name. Here we go. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to search for it on not all methods, on Instagram. So this is what I'm doing now is and everything apart from all the methods called OSINT Industries. Oh, sorry. Called are our own methods, and one of them is, of course, searching by name on Instagram. Another thing that I kind of want to run is to get reviews on Google right here. So before we do all that, let me kind of step back and explain what I have been doing. We have already a lot of information, and I want to remind you the goal that we have: find out everything about Liberty, about this person, but we didn't know that. Actually, the goal is to find out everything about the person with this phone number. And then not only to find out everything about her, but also to find out whether she is connected with the person with the name Jason Ross. So let's do that. We got 2 of her Instagram profiles. We can actually run get details for all of them. Sometimes it's helpful, to get some additional information, and also to be sure what's the reason. How is it possible that there are 2 profiles? Maybe they don't belong to the same person. And what if we are actually investigating a wrong profile? In the meantime, while this is running, we got 5 of her reviews. Let's ungroup them. We see all the places that she left reviews at, and we can also actually see that I think this place, if I'm not mistaken, is associated, connected with horses, and this one as well. So that is yet another example that, and another proof that she is connected to horses somehow. Plus, we see that the picture here. 1 second. Let me make it a bit bigger. That's her jumping over a fence on a horse. So we see, remember I told you before that I ran the method that was supposed to get details about this Instagram profile. So as you can see now, there is an arrow between them. How did it happen? That means that this account referred to this profile. That is pretty common, that people have 2 Instagram accounts. One is a private one, and another one is a more of a professional one. So you can see it also by the picture that she's posting more of her kind of horse pics on horses. So it is likely that that is her her job there. So what we're going to do now, we are going to use our really cool and useful facial recognition functionality. Let me explain what we are going to do. So we actually have, let's go to elements. We have her face and her name. What we can do is we can search by that name. But as you can imagine, sometimes there are at least, I want to say, 10 profiles with a similar name, especially on popular networks like Facebook and stuff. And so basically what we want to do is we want to get all people with her name. Let's copy it here and paste it here in the name area. And then the picture is actually better not on this profile where we have her name, but here we can clearly see her face, and that will really help us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it and then paste it here in the image field. Here we go. And also for us to make sense out of it, we got it from these 2 entities. So let's just draw kind of a link here. So again, let me explain what is what is it that I'm going to do. I'm running a method called Facebook search profiles by face and name. I know that some of our users, our current customers, and I'm sure you are present here today as well, use this functionality a lot, because I think it's one of our coolest methods that is pretty useful. But for everyone else, let me explain what is it that I'm doing. So we searched for this person's name on Facebook. Like I said, sometimes it can give you, let's say, 10 results, right? So instead of making you go and scroll through all of them, ensuring that that is really the person, instead of that, we take the picture that we have here and compare it with all the pictures of the profiles that we found with the initial name. And it really works really well. And I advise you all to use it. And if anyone is our customer and you like the functionality, you can also let me know in the chat. But still, I need to say this is machine learning and AI. So it means that it can make mistakes. And sometimes, it might say that these 2 people are similar where they're not. However, it has a really good success rate. And I advise you to use it. And then if you see with your own eyes that it's not what you were looking for, you can just search by name like I did here and found it on Instagram. So now we have her Facebook profile. On Facebook, she has 1. What I want to do is, again, I want to get the details of her Facebook. I see I just went to the chat to quickly check some comments. Thanks for your comments and for saying that the features are cool. So what we see here, the details, we see the name Jason Ross. That's the one. Remember, I told you that we were looking for the connection between this person, or actually in the beginning it was a phone number, and Jason Ross. What is the connection that she has? Let's look in the details of her profile. So first of all, coming back to something that I said more in the beginning, is that I said that it is my guess that 98 in her email address means the date of the year of birth, which is true. As you can see here, she has a birthday on the 9th of January, year 98. And then another thing here, if we look, oh no, here, sorry, relationships. We can see that she's in a relationship with Jason Ross for 3 years from now. And here's more piece information, but we of course have it on the graph already. So let us recap what we have gathered here. So first of all, we had just a phone number. We looked for it on using OSINT Industries. They got us really good information at first. So first of all, we found out that Facebook and Instagram exists with this phone number, which actually means that we have to look and keep looking for Instagram and Facebook. Even if we didn't find them, we should try and keep looking, because if it says that it exists with this phone number, if it is connected to a phone number, then there should be one. Another thing that we found was a masked email, and we guessed that that's one of the tricks that I recommended to use, that this name would be fully Rima Liberty. And then using OSINT Industries again, we found another of her Google profiles and some other information that also actually corresponds with some things that we have found earlier, like here, Equine Clearance and Equine Clearview. Okay, so how did we actually know, right, that her name is Rima Liberty to input it here? What we did is we also used all in the same investigative space, not creating tabs and so on. We looked for it in the leaks information, and one of the leaks had this email address. And that's also the reason that we understood that here her email should be Rima Liberty. We found a lot of her different profiles, including Ask. That's a really, I want to say, rare find from my experience. And some of her other profiles, again, without having to switch to other tabs and so on, because we have integrated OSINT Industries into social links. Then what we did is we, using our own functionality here, we looked for her reviews and displayed them as well. And another thing was thanks to OSINT Industries, we found her name. We looked for it on Instagram, found 2 profiles, made sure that they belong to one person, because one profile, this one, refers to another profile. And then using our search by face and name functionality, found her Facebook profile. And then using the information on the details, understood that she is in a relationship with the Jason Ross. So in total, we got all of the digital footprint of this person, Liberty, and then also understood the connection that she has with the person that we were looking to, to understand the connection that they have together. Not only that, let me dig a little bit deeper into some things. So first of all, we can see on the map if she has ever mentioned something when it loads, of course. We'll probably have to wait a bit. Then also we can really understand some of her kind of more deep information. What is that deep information? One is one of my really recommend to use features is a thing to run, and that is called, the method is called get photos tagged in. It works everywhere. It works on Instagram. It works on Facebook. So basically, the point there is that you can see the photos that this person was tagged in. Why is it helpful? Most of the people connected with the target person, if they are close friends, will have at least one joint picture together, especially on Instagram. So that is just something I recommend. It's not one of the only feature that I recommend to run. However, it is that one feature that I want to say is something that people forget about, and that is something that I would recommend. Another thing I have prepared in this a bit in advance. What I did is the following. So we had that profile, right? This is her Instagram profile. I have decided to run the information to get 10 of her posts, just 10 of her last posts to see what she has been posting. As you can see, I was right in the beginning. I said that that is likely her professional account where she posts how she handles horses. What I did next is I ran the method called likes, get likes by posts, and 38 people liked that post. If we go to navigation and actually search through them, we will see that one of the profiles is Jason Ross profile. Before we got his Facebook profile, now we also have his Instagram profile. And if we wanted, of course, to search through the whole project by this name, then we would be able to see where we saw the same thing in the, in the graph that I showed you with the relation part. So this is really about how you can combine the broad information and then dig deeper and actually find the connections, understand where people live, where they, who they communicate with. One other cool feature that I recommend, however, it takes a bit like a while. As you saw, everything else was running pretty quickly, I want to say within a minute maybe. However, the method that I'm talking about is sometimes takes even an hour. However, it's a really good one. So what we do on Facebook, we can gather, it's called Get Connections. We can get the information of all the people who liked the person's posts, who commented on this person's post, who shared a picture with them and tagged them. And basically, by doing all of that, we combine a list of people who are somehow connected with the target person. And not only that, we also kind of rate them by importance, because I want to say that if you are tagged in the same picture together, it means more than just one, maybe even random like. And so we have our own system of identifying that. And as a result, you get the information, the sorted list of people connected to the target person. So that is just another thing that I recommend you to do. And again, like I said, it might take more time because it's of how heavy the feature is, of how many things we did to get the information for you. However, it's a really good one, especially in the context where the friends list are closed. However, you are still looking to get the information on connections. So what I also want to do now is I want to ask you whether, if you are not the customer yet, whether you would want to trial it. You'll get the screen, I think, where you'll be able to see to answer the question if you want to get a trial. And while it's happening, I want to go to the chat and hopefully find some questions that I can respond. Again, like I said, it's better to ask them in the Q&A, but I hope I can see them in the chat as well. Are there any countries where these features work better or worse? How about non-English speaking profiles? So I want to say it doesn't really matter to us in the sense that it works the same. You can, let's say, search in Arabic or in Italian, in Russian, so in any language that you choose, and it will give you the same results. Because we highly also rely on the way the social networks work by themselves, and that means that you know, it's pretty good. Also, what I want to say that we have a translation feature. So, for example, it is helpful for posts and so on if it is in your not native foreign language, and that can be really helpful. I know it also from experience. When you are investigating a person from a country whose language you don't speak, it can be really helpful when you translate it, or also you can using just ChatGPT built in our solution. You can ask it to summarize it, to you know, get all the important topics. I said it in the beginning, like get me all the posts about politics or religion and so on. I have a question: what graphing tool social links use? So basically, our graphing tool is our own one. I hope you like it because we constantly update it. There has just recently been an update, yeah, it's pretty user friendly, and you can try it yourself if you haven't used it. Okay, I think I'm trying to start reading all the new questions instead of answering the old one, but I'll try to keep up. So which social networks are supported? We honestly have a lot of them, like really a lot. Some of them are high level. So, you know, to get a profile directly from a username or phone number, and that's it. For some of them, you can really dig deep. For the ones that you need them for, I want to say. So let's say for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, VK, we also have some like regional sources as well. Xing for Germany, if I'm not mistaken, that's like German LinkedIn. Okay. We also have API. I see the question here. Well, sure. Then is the ChatGPT prompt operated from the social links platform? I hope I'm understanding your question correctly, but if I do, it is all from the social link site, so you don't have to insert any ChatGPT keys or anything. So you just press on the button get topics on, let's say, 100 of posts, and then you get that. How can we get the recording? Recording will be sent to your emails. That answer I have already answered. What about the subject's current location, current address? So that is something, I think, if we dig deeper into her, if I'm not mistaken, leaks. I'll check it later. I think it was in the leaks. Again, a lot of people sometimes just order delivery, and then the information is there, and then it's leaked, and you can see it there. But also you can correlate it with Google reviews. the places where this person has left a review, and it is usually around the area where she lives or where she traveled to. Then we also saw the place where she trains with the horses, and she also tags it on Instagram. So if we really dig deeper, it is 100% possible. I think at some point when I was doing that investigation, I did it. Okay, then what is the monthly payment for law enforcement? We usually do yearly payments for, especially for law enforcement, because it's I want to say more. It's easier for yourself. However, I think if you want to do monthly, we can do it. I'm not sure if I can say the price, and also I'm really not a salesperson. I'm more from a technical side. So if you want, and if you pressed yes, I want to trial. We'll just contact you and ensure that we tell you the price. What happens if the phone number is set to private on the social media account? Will they still be able to find the connection? It depends on what. It depends on the social media itself. It's actually a really good question, and I love working with it. So that will depend on the platform itself mostly. However, there are always some workarounds. For example, I can also say in our example, first of all, one of Libby's accounts, Liberty's, the target person, was on Instagram, was set to private. However, we found another one which wasn't set to private. And Jason Ross' account on Instagram was also set to private. However, not the other way around. One of the Liberty's profiles was open, and we found that he follows her, that she likes her posts, and so on. So there is always a way. So of course we are not magicians, and we don't break the law. That's also really probably important to say. We are operating with really actual open source. However, when you have the data this way, when it's structured, and when we are the people who know where to look because of the expertise that we have, it means that we will find the way to find something, or at least there will be a high chance that it is found. Okay, I've noticed that this product is kind of similar to what Maltego does, but focus on social media. In your opinion, what would be the reasons that make PrimeWall stand out over Maltego? That's an interesting question. Thanks for asking it, Francisco. I also was a long user of Maltego, and I respect them a lot. So I don't want to say anything bad about them. Absolutely. So I can just say why I like PrimeWall myself as a user. First of all, the things like maps, reporting, and also just very user friendly. It's easier to operate with it. There is a lower threshold of entering. We also have a field where you can just input the phone number, let's say, or an email address, and just press go. And I would say it's just more easy, Plus, as I can say, as a person from the team, we're really flexible, and we really listen to your feedback. So we can be quite quick in changes. That's also important because with that, you will end up actually seeing what you want to see from a product, and that is, I'm guessing, that it's actually helps you solve the cases faster. And also the point that it is more focused on social media, I wouldn't agree with that. It's just that we showed you a case with social media. However, it's just because it's the most kind of the case that we mostly see among our customers. However, there are other cases. For example, we have the darknet functionality. We have only for law enforcement, though I have to say a very interesting Telegram functionality. I can say more on that's really only from law enforcement, and we don't even explain what that functionality is to other agencies, other firms. It is kind of social media, but it's more leaning into, terrorism and stuff like that. Is there any possibility to download the data as any file format? Yeah, sure. You can download it as HTML, like a report. You can download it in CSV. So whatever you choose. Okay, I have answered the questions in the Q&A. I can go to chats now. Let's agree that I answer 5 other questions, if that's okay, because there are a lot of them. Will you share the link to get a crime will trial at the end of webinar? No. The way it works is you answered that you want a trial, and that's why we will contact you. However, if you haven't pressed yes when the window appeared, you can contact us directly. We'll make sure to just tell us that you come from the webinar, and we'll let you have the trial, of course. How often are new data leaks or data breaches added to the database? Oh, that's a really good question. We have a partner for that feature, and they are focused solely on that. That's why it's updated really, really often. As soon as some breach appears, they parse it and edit. And because that's their focus, they're really good at it. I can say that because I have chosen that partner myself, and I really like the speed with which they add the databases. Is there any history cached information that we use? Like if the account was public, then private? And then do we do regular sweeps, or is everything on demand? So first of all, and I saw somewhere else there was a question about GDPR, I think. So they actually are about the same thing. We don't store anything really, in a sense of, kind of things that we just really, really gather a lot of information. It wouldn't possible to do that. Wouldn't be possible to do that in a sense that, we can't store the whole Instagram, the whole LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube on our servers. However, it is a good thing because it means that the data that we show here is always live and up to date. So the second you press the button, I want to see someone's likes, that is exactly when we go and get that likes. In a sense that sometimes people delete their information, that's true. What helps is in that case is the leaks, and also Google Archive. That's something that I've used a few times for an investigation. Okay, and which database does the interface work with? So we work, like I said also before, but you of course asked your question before I answered, so I'll say it now. We work with a provider for the databases, and they're really good. And I know for sure that they have really good coverage, and that doesn't only include the US. I know that for the US the coverage is good. I have seen it myself as well, but also for especially Europe, Middle East. Yeah, so it's a really good one. Okay. Let's do last question, because I don't know whether also the ones in QA. There are some more ones. Okay, just one question and that's it, because there has been some time for answering questions, and if I haven't answered your question, please let us know. We'll really make sure to answer it and also do it from the technical perspective as well. So the last question is, to what extent does image analysis go? Someone mentioned geoinformation being gathered from images. That's an interesting question. So there are two ways to do it. One is the actual data that the person posts. And that is, for example, you tag that I've been at that restaurant, and that is something that you can go and see on the map. Or also, just understand how it is connected. You can know vice versa. So you can input the geo information and then search by it. So search all the photos posted on Instagram in a particular location, or another one that comes to mind for me that we also have is Snapchat. And another way to look at it is to search in the photo, by background. And that's actually something that we really want to work on because we found a partner for that as well. Really cool guys from the US. So they give you the ability, you might have heard about them as well, GeoSpy. We want to integrate them in our platform. And in my personal opinion, kudos to Daniel again. He's a really professional guy, and the tool that I've seen myself is a really good one. What they do is they basically parse a lot of information, and from that they understand that if there is a palm and a beach that looks like this, then it is likely in this area, or at least in this country, or these buildings, if they are two-story buildings with this pattern. So they use machine learning, and you can also do that. But basically, the point is what we want our platform to be, and we know it's a very important point for you as well, that everything is in one place, in one platform. You don't have to go. That's also why we implemented OSINT Industries, of course. You don't have to go there and there and there to get that information. This is one place that you have where you can look, and you know that you have covered all ends. And I hope it helps. I will also make sure that I look through the questions, because I think since we have the recording, I'll be able to see the chat as well, and maybe be prepared to answer some of the questions. But I hope the webinar was useful. Please let me know any feedback if you have it. I hope the hacks that I mentioned, and in general the way of thinking about how you approach the investigation, helps. And thank you for today, and have a great evening, morning, day, someone, because like we saw in the very beginning, people are coming from all over the world, really. So thank you all, and thank you for your feedback as well. It's always a pleasure to read too. Thank you. Bye, and have a great day. Thank you.